So let's look at the homework that you turned in, or that you had me look at. We'll just start with why should we make free healthcare available? We should make free healthcare available to everyone. Why? First, we pay almost double per capita for healthcare of any nation that has a free system. Second, it would give workers the freedom to take chances because they wouldn't be dependent on their workplace for insurance. Third, it's just the humane thing to do. So, first off, you did identify correctly that the conclusion of this argument is that we should make free healthcare available to everyone. That is, one is the conclusion. So you know it's got to be either B or D or E, right? Well, okay, notice this though. Notice that we've got this word first, second, and third. That kind of gives you another indication, namely that this conclusion is going to have three separate sorts of justification, right? Now, all of these, B, D, and E, have kind of three justifications, right? Here and here and here. So we still have more work to do to figure out what's going to be the best fit. One more thing before we dig in a little bit more. Notice any indicator words. Because is an indicator word. That means that somewhere I should probably see a 4 pointing down to a 3, right? You should believe proposition 3 because of proposition 4. So that should be a big hint because you can just go and look at these three options and see which one has that feature, right? But notice we should make free healthcare available to everyone. Why? First, we pay almost double per capita for healthcare. Second, it would give workers the freedom to take chances. And third, it's just the humane thing to do. The question here is, are those independent reasons to make free healthcare available, or do we need all of those premises together for any of them to make sense as support for Proposition 1? And the answer there is that they're independent. Each of them gives us a good reason. We should make free health care available to everyone. Why? Because we pay almost double per capita of any nation that has a free system. Is that a good reason? Yeah, that makes sense as a good reason to believe that conclusion. That is, on its own, we should probably have an arrow from 2 pointing to 1 somewhere in our answers. Notice that of the three options that we've considered, B, D, and E, there's only one that fits those three options. Let's do one more, just to kind of give you a sense of how I think it might help to go through and think about these diagrams. Let's look at your next one. Smoking causes cancer. You should probably quit. It's also really gross. It makes your breath smell like an ashtray, and you're starting to get nicotine stains on your teeth. You chose D for this, right? Well, so I'm gonna think about this argument as if D was correct. Smoking causes cancer. So I'm going to go up from there and ask the question, how do you know that? I know that because, 2, you should probably quit. Is that how you know that smoking causes cancer? No, right? That doesn't make sense. We know smoking causes cancer because we've done big tests and we've seen the correlations between numbers of people who get cancer and how much those people smoke and so on and so forth, right? And notice, I can keep doing this. You should probably quit. Why? Well, it's gross. Okay, that actually makes sense. It makes your breath smell like an ashtray, and you're starting to get nicotine stains on your teeth. So all three of those actually kind of make a certain sort of sense. The problem is that, there's two problems. One, that this part doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't fit. The other thing is, I don't think that you've correctly identified the conclusion. This person's not trying to convince you that smoking causes cancer. If someone was trying to convince you that smoking causes cancer, they'd point to studies, or they'd talk about somebody they knew smoked who got cancer, that sort of thing, right? This person isn't trying to convince you smoking causes cancer. They're trying to convince you you should probably quit. So that actually gives you a pretty good indication. They're trying to convince you you should probably quit, and that's the only one that has 2 as the conclusion. But notice, so we've got the answer. I've kind of given it away here. But notice that the way I've set this up, you can kind of go back and look at the logic of this argument and see if it fits. Smoking causes cancer. You should probably quit. So you should quit smoking. Why? Because it causes cancer. Is that a good reason? Yeah. Okay. Is there any other reason? Why should I quit smoking? Because it's gross. Oh, okay. That's a good reason too, right? Now, why is it gross? Well, because it makes your breath smell like an ashtray, and you're starting to get nicotine stains on your teeth. Are those good reasons to believe that it's gross? Yeah, they are. So, you see, I can kind of take this argument apart and put it back together with the diagram and check to make sure that the diagram kind of scans. It kind of makes sense when I do this trick of saying, why do you believe that? And looking up from the conclusion up to the premises that support it and seeing if those scan. I hope that helps.